Good morning, good morning. Happy Thursday.
Good morning. And here we are for another showcase this week. So happy Thursday, everyone. I can see that there are some people hopping on already. So let us know if you're joining us live, who you are. And in the comments section, let us know where you're from and what you do. And if you're watching this on the replay, don't forget to let us know too by commenting #replay. Happy Thursday, Sarah.
Happy Thursday, Rebecca. I have no idea where this week has gone, but it has just whizzed by, hasn't it?
Tell me about it. It's been all fun and games over the last couple of weeks, I would say, actually. So the last couple of weeks have flown by, but this week more so than normal.
100%. So we have been having some fabulous conversations this week with our lovely supervision clients. It's been really, for me, really inspiring, really heartwarming to hear about our clients' businesses, their journeys, and also about their experience of supervision and how it has really helped them to really step into being excellent, professional, reflective practitioners, which is so important in the work that we do as coaches.
And I know that we always say this, but you're in for a treat today with this special client of ours, because not only is she like full of energy, but she has the biggest heart and the biggest personality, and we absolutely love having her in our world. So for those people that are tuning in, Sarah, and they're like, oh, who is or are Sarah and Rebecca, who is the Coaching Catalyst? Because we show our faces online and we think that everyone actually watches these, but we actually know, looking at the statistics, that only a small number of people come across these lives. So who are we, Sarah?
Thanks, Rebecca. So I'm Sarah Bramall. This is Rebecca Daniel. Together, we are the Coaching Catalysts. Both of us are ICF accredited coaches. We're coach trainers for leading organizations, and we are coach supervisors. So we really work with coaches to support coaches to be the best that they can be, both for themselves and for their clients. And our passion for training, coaching, supervision really has its roots in our combined 30 years experience as secondary English teachers. So if you're new to us today, come and say hi. Let us know a bit about you and about what you do. But without further ado, we are very excited today to welcome one of our very special clients, Leonora Found, who has been in our Catalyst membership community and in supervision with us. She's going to come on in a minute and share with us about herself, her journey to becoming a coach and the work that she does. And then we're going to talk about her experience of supervision. So really, really excited. Leonora, let's bring you on. Good morning.
Good morning. Can you see me? Yes, you can.
We can see you. Welcome. It's so lovely to be here with you this morning.
It's lovely to be here. It really is. And thank you for that introduction, because I've listened to so many other people being showcased this week, and I've gone, oh my gosh, these are good people, and I want to know all of them.
Yeah, and you know, we're really fortunate to be working with just some incredible people, but that also does include you, Leonora, as well. So thank you for being in our world and for engaging in our community as well. We're really grateful for you, and I can see a love heart on the screen from the lovely Laura King. So shout out to you, Laura, and thank you for joining us live today.
Oh. So firstly, Leonora, I would love to hear about you and what brought you into coaching and doing the work that you're doing.
So it's, I reflected on this a little bit this week, and I kind of put my life into 3 stages. So it's the pre-children, the middle years, and the now. So the pre-children was I studied organizational psychology and communications. I worked in HR and recruitment, and it was really a fantastic time where I just was in my flow. I did what I loved. I felt like I was good at it. I love connecting with people, and it was a real happy place. And yeah, and then we stopped to have a family because the company I was working for went into a merge, and it seemed like a good time to just stop then and have a family. And I was super excited about exploring my creative side and yeah, just getting in touch with that's kind of side of me that, I mean, I'm a person who throws myself into anything, and I get excited about anything, a bit restless, to be honest. But I just find enthusiasm in a lot of areas. So this was my opportunity to get creative. I started writing about my parenting experiences, and I sold those to some parenting magazines. I then decided I wanted to illustrate some of the work I did. So I did a cartooning course, and I did some ads for people, and I illustrated a number of books, and it was all very, very wonderful. And then we moved country. So I'm South African, just in case nobody knows that. And we moved country, and I honestly, I didn't want to move country. I was really happy. I was kind of just coming into my own, and that really knocked me for a 6. And jumbled with being a parent with 3 young children and passionate about parenting. I love the fact that I was a full-time mom, but in that time I started to lose my confidence. I lacked purpose. I was in a new country, and here's the thing, I actually neglected to focus on myself. And I used to struggle with that statement, like, I've neglected to focus on myself. That just sounds so self-centered, And then I realized I came across the word self-awareness, and that was the key for me. How self-aware am I? What is it about myself that I want? Where's my purpose? Where's my value? What is my identity other than being the cog in this wheel of my family and running a home and being a chef and being a taxi driver and all those things we do as mom, and that kind of was clouding my world. And I once cartooned a picture of me sitting in a box, and that's pretty much how I felt. I felt like I was sitting in this box, and the box was becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. And I wasn't growing in myself. I was encouraging everybody else around me to grow. And let's face it, your family aren't your biggest champions. Did I say that? Is that a bad thing to say? Yeah, the family. Yeah. I don't say, I'll tell you a story. This is quite funny. I remember, I don't know how young my children are, but I asked my husband to write me a performance review. I asked him to write me a review of my job and how well I was doing as a full-time mother, because I just needed somebody to come in and say, this is what you're doing well. This is where I can see improvement. This is the kind of area I'd like you to grow in. And then you can give your feedback as well. So he wrote this. I actually need to pull it out, funny enough. He wrote me this performance appraisal about how well I was doing. And it just gave me that, yes, I am part of a team here. I'm not just a lone man show, So yeah, so that was where I was, in this box, and I actually felt terrified to look outside the box, because it looked like everybody was moving on, moving up. My husband's, was moving up in his career, and I wasn't moving that needle. And actually, funny enough, mention it. It's the phrase that I've taken from Laura King, who's on this live. We speak about moving the needle forward, and that is, I wasn't moving the needle forward. I was stuck, really stuck. And then COVID happened, and that brought me into how I discovered coaching. COVID happened. My oldest had just left for university, and I was like thrilled that I was having a little bit more space in my life, and everybody came home. And that box was going to be me sitting in this box, small again, with everybody at home. And her boyfriend came up here as well. And I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to cope? And I happened to jump on a live with another organizational psychologist who was running a free coaching masterclass. And I knew this was where I needed to be. And very quickly, I'd never been life coached before. I didn't know much about life coaching, except, interestingly, when I first moved to this country, I met somebody and she said, you need to be a life coach. And I was just so lost at that stage that I just couldn't do that. I didn't know how. I just didn't know how. And life coaching gave me the tools to discover who I am. And if you say to me now, who are you, Leonora? I go, breathe. I'm a life coach, and I specialize in mental fitness. And I work with women who have lost their identity and are maybe going through transition in their lives, and they want to discover their value and purpose. Am I talking too much?
You are. You've got me absolutely enthralled. It's so great to hear your
storytelling. It's one of your superpowers, and this is why I'm like sitting here. Can you not see? Like, I'm leaning into the screen because I feel the story. Like, I'm not a midlife mum yet. I'm approaching that, but like I'm listening, and I'm like, right, this is something for me to know that's coming. Yeah,
because you do, and I think if you're passionate about what you do, and I was passionate about parenting, I dived into it in every way. I mean, I wrote a web about it, and I shared our stories with the world, and people engaged with them. But I just didn't focus on me, And you know what? I've got a lot. There's a lot about me that I can give to other people, and it was important to do that because, after I trained as a coach. Well, I had this conversation with my son. He's now 21, so maybe he was about 19 or 20 at the stage. He said to me, I didn't realize, Mom, that you had a job before you were a parent. I was like, oh my gosh, And then later he said to me, I'm so proud at what you now do because I see so much more of you and who you are and your capabilities. And he used the word, I wish I wrote it down somewhere, but he was inspired by me. And I mean, that was a performance appraisal in itself. It really, really was. But, so in that COVID time, I had life coaching. I signed up for a year-long coaching and counseling diploma through an academy in the Netherlands. I then realized very quickly while I was doing that I actually wanted to get the ICF qualification. And so I signed up with Optimus Coaching Academy to become a coach, and I got my ACC through the ICF, and I did all of that whirlwind, threw myself into it, heart and soul. And I have to say that I am now living my best life because I'm doing what I love, which is being a parent, and I'm using the skills that have learned through training to be a coach. I'm using that in my home to coach my family, but I'm also using it outside, which is really what makes me tick, really, is to see other people moving the needle forward. And that really, so that's where I am at the moment. I'm living my best life.
And I think after all that storytelling, that is the perfect way to end just that part of it, is that you were in a place of challenge and transition, and then you were in a place of discovery and new learnings, and now you're in a place of like contentment and living that life of fulfillment. and enjoyment, because you have that integration of doing what you love whilst also being present for your family. And I think that's what most people strive for, actually, is to have that integration. So thank you for sharing that part of the story, because I think that's crucial to where you are at today.
Yeah.
So you are an ACC coach with the ICF, and you joined the world of the Catalysts way before that part, but still stuck around. So there was something, obviously, that Sarah and I were doing that couldn't leave you. So that's good to know, because we're really happy for you to be in our world. And you then engaged in supervision. Coach supervision with Sarah.
So I know you're going to ask me this, so I'm just going to preempt it.
Why
did I join supervision? Why did I join supervision? So I actually wrote a post yesterday about this, because I'm flawed. I'm totally flawed. I have that, you move forward into space, but some of those things that have held you back before, some of those old neural pathways sometimes hijack, and I lack confidence often. I go there often. I have self-doubt. I become lazy in some of the things I do. Sometimes I lack motivation. And so I was sitting in this place. Oh, are you still there? Yeah.
We're still here.
Oh, sorry. So I was in that place where I was getting like a fat and lazy, comfortable coach. And I do a lot with peers, but it's not enough. I felt like I needed to take a step up, and supervision is a level up. It's that kind of more professional space. And I'd kind of said to myself, well, I don't have enough clients, or I need to get to that place before I do this. And maybe I don't want to make that investment yet, because maybe I'm not earning enough to warrant it. And there's still so much studying I want to do, because I've become a serial studier. But I just thought, no, I need to actually sharpen. I need to sharpen my skills. And I want to sharpen them. And the only way I'm going to do that is to mix with people who have the same motivation. And so I'd already had a relationship with you guys. And you were kind of when I finished training with Optimus, I needed a place to go where I would build more confidence. And that's how I discovered you guys. And it was you, Rebecca, and connecting with you that enabled me to do that. And then now that I'm in supervision, oh my gosh, it's done what I'd hoped it would do. And I'll be honest with you, the first session and maybe partly into the second session, I felt really nervous. Definitely within my group, I don't want to rank myself, but I was at the lower end of the class, sitting at the back, hiding, praying that Sarah wouldn't ask me a question. But, it's about just being real and authentic. It's definitely a safe space. And I remember Sarah saying somewhere on some platform, she was saying, that she just wanted to ask questions and show up. And she also felt like the newbie. That definitely gave me the courage to be the newbie and ask the questions. And yeah, so it's a safe place. But it's sharpening me. It's making me brush up in areas that I'd kind of neglected. I mean, who would have thought that ethics could be such an exciting topic? But it was one that I found utterly boring when I was studying to be a coach. But now I really am engaging with it much more, and that's through supervision.
I am leaving. I'm going to hand over to Sarah to wrap this up, because Leonora, just everything that you've said is the reason why we do what we do, why we love what we do. So to hear your experiences of it, and obviously I'm not in your supervision group, so for me to hear that and know what's going on, like, this is purely a confidential space. Sarah and I don't meet afterwards and talk about like each other's groups. So to hear it from you as to like your experience, it's really made me like really smile from ear to ear. So well done to you, Sarah. Well done to your cohort, Leonora, and also well done to you for engaging. I'll hand over to Sarah.
Oh, thank you, Leonora. You know, thank you so much for your honesty and your vulnerability. I get it. And like you say, I've been there as well. I've been there where I've been like, oh God, is it okay for me to be here? I don't know. And that was definitely the case for me when I started group supervision after qualifying. I was in this group with this amazing group of ladies, and I was like, God, do I even belong here? Like, what do I even bring? I literally felt like, and same as you, I was like, please don't ask me anything. But what I think that you are beginning to see now is that we all bring so much value and such a different perspective to the conversation, that no matter what your level of experience, your coaching niche, how many clients you're working with, it's not about that. It's really about holding the space for each other and offering our perspectives and offering maybe an affirmation or a gentle challenge. And you're so good at doing that, you know, because your coaching skills mean that you are able to do that. And you've just shared with us, you know, your story and all of the experience that you have. And we bring all of ourselves to our coaching work. So, you know, you really do contribute so much value. So I'm so glad. I appreciate it. It does require putting the brave girl pants on sometimes and going, oh, okay, I'm stepping into a stretch zone here, but I'm so glad that you have, because what you bring is so incredibly valuable.
Well, I wanted to say something on that, which has been something I've got to remind myself often, is that I am not aspiring to be like the other people in my supervision group. I am me. And I bring my past experiences and my current experiences and my energy and my enthusiasm and maybe my humor to my coaching practice. I'm not, and as soon as I try and be like someone else, that's when the confidence gets knocked, because that's not who I am. And so I'm trying to embrace that more as I go through this supervision journey.
Wonderful. Leonora, thank you so much for being here, for your generosity in sharing your story and sharing your experiences. It's been really, well, it's always wonderful to work with you, but I've really enjoyed our conversation today. Thank you.
Thank you. So, I knew that was going to be a good one. I really did. I had a really good feeling about it. And yeah, I'm going to replay this, I think. And I would recommend that if people are joining at this point live, and that you go back to the beginning of that as well. Thank you to those that have been watching in the background. It would be lovely to hear if you've got any questions for Leonora, to drop them in the comments so that she can answer them. And Leonora is over on Instagram, but you can also find Leonora via her website, and we will share all of the links to where you can connect with her after this live. So we are getting ready, aren't we, Sarah, to host a Q&A session soon?
We are. We've got a Q&A session today. So this is for you. If you are a coach, coaching training, you use coaching in your business or your work, and you're thinking, actually, do I need to be in supervision? What would I get from being in supervision? And so doors are open now to the Coaching Catalyst Collective until Monday at 5 p.m. UK time. We are hosting a Q&A session this morning over on Zoom, so that if you have any questions for us, you've got a safe space to come and join, connect with us and ask those questions. So if you're signed up to our mailing list, you will get the Zoom link there. If you can't make it this morning, then don't worry, just drop us a message and we will make time to have a conversation with you if you are interested and you want to know whether this is right for you.
But for now, we will see you soon. And we have another showcase coming up next Monday. And we will also be live again tomorrow, just to say hello and connect with you and let you know what's going on in the world of the Catalysts. So for now, see you later.
Perfect. Thank you, everybody.